The second criticism, General Malik, and many will say this is a much more serious one being made by a few army veterans, is that apart from eroding the ethos of the regimental system, the scheme will also lead to frustration among those who are rejected by the army and not retained in service after 4 years. This is again Lieutenant General Bhatia, and also allied to that is the fears that once they enter society heavily militarized, what will they do? What happens to those who are rejected in a way by the army, not retained after 4 years? Is the frustration and the militarization, will they be able to really take the next step in their life, and what will that do to society to have this militarized society?
Again, I don't think people are taking into account the socio-economic conditions of the country. And as long as we have a youthful profile, as long as we have the educated people, we should not worry too much. They would have served in the army for 4 years, and they would go back with a small package, as well as a certain amount of training, the discipline and the ethos of the army. I'm sure they will be able to find jobs outside. This is a welfare aspect that people are referring to. And even today I heard that some of them can be absorbed in the paramilitary forces or Central Armed Police. This is what has been announced by the Ministry of Home Affairs.
You know, the criticism, General Malik, again is coming from the fact that there are those who are not fully convinced whether the intentions of the government is to reform the army, give us a fitter, physically fitter army, one which its claim will be more technologically savvy, or simply now to save on money because of the bloated pension bill. Because the pension budget was ballooning, therefore this step has been taken to reduce the age of the army. Do you go along with that, that really is the motive? Reform is only the way it's being window dressed?
Rajdeep, one of the consideration is indeed to save on the defense budget. One cannot deny that. And it will reduce the pension budget that we are spending at the moment, and which will keep on increasing. Overall, I believe that this will reduce the revenue budget that we are spending, almost about 80 to 85%, and it will help increase the capital budget, which is required for modernization. And therefore, there is nothing to be afraid of, in fact, about this.
Let's turn from the criticism to the support. I know you seem to be also now emerging as a supporter. Many say the Indian army, this massive Indian army, needs major reform, particularly the need to adapt to new technologies in the 21st century. Do you believe the focus therefore should be on the technology aspect? Do you believe therefore it should be restricted to this recruitment with the Agnipath scheme? But what really is needed is an adaptation to new technologies. Unless that happens, all of these reforms will not work. Do you go along with that? Or do we need the physical presence at the end of the day, boots on the ground? Technology or boots on the ground?
Absolutely. I do believe that. In fact, I think we are getting late into that. You know, it's good to depend so much on our regimental system, which I agree with and which we must maintain. But also we have to improve the quality of men which are coming into the armed forces. And that is an important factor. I have always believed in quality over quantity. Let me be quite, I've been saying that from the time I was Army Chief, that I would prefer quality over quantity.